Yes, guys, another episode of the Bikini Insider. You know my co-host Kerry Sexton and Marnie. You know what? I keep saying Kerry
Can you
Sexton. I
say
say
my
Marnie,
surname?
but I always look at your last name like, do I dare say it or will I say it
Go
wrong?
on, try.
Well, I was gonna say Marnie Al Saraf.
Yay! You were
It
perfect.
only took me like 27 episodes to actually have the courage to say it.
Oh,
I was like, okay, that's Kerry Sexton. I'm Marnie. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what we're gonna talk about. Um, but hey, Kerry, I watched your episode today.
did you?
Yeah, I watched because obviously you put the voice note of was it the who was describing about the injury you have?
So it was the person that like reads the scans and that did the steroid injection. So the doctor
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I can see why I got him to say that because I was like, oh, so much of it was going over my head. I was gonna,
Yeah, I just recorded the conversation like when we got the results, I just recorded it. So because I get really like I come over really faint when I hear stuff. I don't know, I just do, always have. So I was like, I need to record it so I can listen back to it later because I'm not going to really take anything in, especially when it's talking about myself as well. So yeah, that was why basically. But
I was like, I watched yours. You're there talking about your injury. But I watched Mark's video and there's you doing something with Mark, I don't know, on his shoulder. I was like,
yeah,
me, jeez,
yeah. So yeah, that's
what
our
insurance plan are you guys on?
electrotherapy machine that we have at home, and it's ultrasound as well, so it pulls down like inflammation with the like edema. But yeah, it's crazy because obviously both of us have got freaking issues with our shoulders, which is nuts.
And how many weeks out to Italy?
So that is 4.5 weeks.
Man,
But
Damn.
it's crazy
damn.
though because like I was speaking to Meg this morning and like I spoke a little bit about it on my story about like I've got really bad digestive issues at the moment and we're just trying to iron that out and I don't know like why nothing's changed from like a standpoint of like anything that I'm doing. It's just happened and she said to me today like both me and you know that like you can't get on stage like this. And I was like, okay. Like, okay, I said to her as well, are we still where we need to be from a physique standpoint, take away the digestive stuff that's going on? And she's like, yes, 100%. So we're still like on track, but it's just like we're trying to navigate the situation with my digestive system. Literally, it's crazy. I don't know why either, really. So hopefully that is just something that just maybe it's the stress of like everything
Yeah,
that's gone on.
I
Uh,
was just gonna say that,
uh,
Kerry. Like the only thing that has
no,
changed is that
that's
you
it.
now know what's going on. And when you just said there about feeling faint, sometimes obviously we chatted on the phone when you found out, and you couldn't even get your words out, and I could just feel it. And like it's gonna be a natural response, but everybody knows in this sport the worst thing for digestion issues is stress. It like without a doubt.
Yeah, and we've had a lot on recently, like with launching our brand and things like that. Today actually feels like I've had a little bit of a less like mental day, but I messaged Meg this morning and was like this, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, like PMDD's come around, so I always have a bit of like problems, but I just like openly said, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm literally like I'm out doing my walk now, but I'm thinking like I'm like, is this even like okay? Like, am I like gonna carry on? Like, I literally was like, I just feel like eating a load of food just to see if something happens and we can like get moving again and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I was literally like, obviously, I'm not going to pull out, am I? Because I'm doing my steps on the way to my cardio, voice telling her this message. Like, I'm not laying in bed doing it. But yeah, I like to just say what's on my mind just so she knows exactly where I'm at. And then her response is always one that pulls me back down. But we know for me around this time of the month that I have that I do get intrusive thoughts that come across, and it is just better for me to talk things out in that respect. And that's just something that I personally do struggle with openly. So yeah, but this afternoon, like I've turned it around, I feel fine and like we've got on with the day. So
Well,
yeah, we're good.
shout out to the clothing brand now that's been
Oh,
announced.
I know I've been
Woo!
designing some other things that will be dropping around the time of Italy, which is exciting.
Can
So
I ask, how is that going to work with obviously you're sponsored by Trained by JP. I see you wearing all that stuff, and of course
yeah,
you're going to Olympia where more eyeballs are going to be on you on your socials than ever before. And I'm assuming you want to get that clothing brand out there. How is that going to work?
yeah. So basically we sent an email to Jordan and Corin and said like this is what we're looking to do, this is the direction we want to go in, and they were like absolutely all for it. In fact, it was really funny because when we launched it, Jordan reshared the photo on his story, and he said like what was it, it was something like my two babes or something, my two fashionable babes or something, and their new clothing brand. And it just made me really laugh, like him saying like my two babes. But yeah, they've got our back and they're all cool for it. As long as like we have a contract and stuff and we love the brand, so we talk about it and wear it and everything. And it's just going to be one of those things where we have a mix of everything going on kind of thing. So yeah, they're not fussed. It's like it's one of those things, isn't it? I guess like Nike, Adidas kind of vibes. Like there's so many people that are going to buy that and that and that and both and
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, it's really nice to have their support, and we'll be sending them out some stuff as well to wear. But they do support their athletes with their own like ventures, if that makes sense. So they literally were really, really happy for us to be doing this. So yeah, it's really exciting though, and we've been overwhelmed with the amount of like interest, like so much so we know we've not invested enough from the like reach and the response that we've had from people where like our suppliers are like, right, like we need to get more made for your drop. But everything is coming together, so we've been wanting to do this forever, and I'm so excited.
When's the official drop?
So we haven't officially got a date. I can just say that it's going to be in the next week or two. We've got like promo videos all ready to go. It's just finalizing some like last little bits and getting some last photos of some other stuff. Because the photos we did drop, that isn't it. We've got a bigger range than what we did drop. So we obviously didn't want to share it all. So yeah, everything's just kind of there waiting to happen.
Marnie, I mean, Kerry's off to Olympia. She's got a new clothing brand. Tell me what's new with you.
Nowhere near what Carrie's just explained.
Like myself.
To be honest, yeah, just I spoke on my Instagram story yesterday for the first time in so long. I feel like, I usually kind of do like Q&As and talk about things on there. I guess with the podcast, that's kind of like filled that hole a bit because I get to chat with you guys
Mm.
every week.
You know
Uh,
what? When I saw the first one talking, I was like, "Ooh, is this the football announcement?" I saw a text of relief. I was like, "What's this? Let me scroll up the next one." I was like, "Oh no, it's not."
Oh, classic. Yeah, I mean, no fit model announcement, unfortunately for you,
That's a
but
later date. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I obviously did mention fit model though on the story, just because I feel like can we talk about fit model for a little bit? I don't know if people are interested, but like I don't know, it's one of those I still feel like I'm kind of flying the fit model flag in the sense of like, trying to get people to look at the category a bit more because I feel like when it first came out, obviously there was so much controversy, but I do feel, I don't know if you would agree with this just based on like the engagement and stuff you've had, Suki, but I do feel like people are warming to the category a bit more now. Like the numbers kind of seem to be going up a bit in terms of like I watched a few videos on YouTube, one that Paul Ravella did recently where he was talking about like the number of athletes that have registered for like nationals of recent and just talking about like the actual statistics over the years of how, bikini would used to have maybe say 400 athletes, it's gone down to 300, then it's gone down to 200, and then like this year they've seen the numbers of bikini go down. However, it's matched last year's if you add the number of fit model athletes. So like it's equivalent than it was last year, but the girls that aren't competing in bikini like if you were to look at it, I'm sure there's probably like give or take a few, but it's ultimately suggesting that like there is a transition now of not just athletes entering the sport for the first time, but like a lot of bikini girls now going, hang on a minute, I actually fit this criteria better than bikini. So
Yeah.
I do feel like there's a shift happening, and to me, that's almost kind of amplifying this, the notion that you've still got to do the hard yards. Like you still have to have that base of muscle. And obviously, some of these girls have come from bikini where they've been training in that way, and they still fit model better. So yeah, I don't know if you want to comment on that, but I just thought it'd be
Like, yeah, I think more people are like warming to it as well. I've had like a lot more clients messaging me like more on the fence about it now. And it is hard because some people are really aligned with the bikini, but like at the same time, I think understanding that it can take years and years and years, which is fine because that's fine if that's what you want to do. But like, I don't know, like I think recognizing that your physique might actually suit better to that
yeah,
for you to then go through like climbing up
yeah,
to bikini, I think is essentially a really good idea. And to be honest, that's like, like what we would have done, I'm sure, to be honest. But
yeah. I was
yeah,
gonna
I'm
say,
warming to it a lot more. I really am.
yeah,
I
me
think it's
too. I
really good.
think like I've definitely been paying closer attention for obvious reasons with the girls that I've got on Rocket as well, because I would say that like previously we had like maybe one or two fit models, and then all of a sudden there's a bit more of a shift now where like the ratio that I have of like bikini to fit model to wellness is probably like, I don't know, maybe 60% bikini, 30% fit model, 10% wellness. That's kind of where it's at. But I do see by next year it being more of like almost a 50-50 between bikini and fit model, to be honest. I feel like a lot of the girls are realizing the demands of bikini now. And I think that's going to be even more apparent because I've even seen some bikini pros now talk about, like in the States, for example, talk about, oh, should I do fit model? And some of these YouTube videos I've seen of like the top US coaches, they're saying like, I have top level bikini pros that are sending me pictures in fit model poses and asking, what do you think?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think what I'm still seeing the same judgmental view from the beginning. I'll explain why. But so there's some positive side. I saw an interview from Adam, Ashley's coach interview. Adam did a video, so Ashley Cole was his coach. He explained the fact that from what he's seeing and what he believes that in a couple of years that fit model will be the most dominant class, which I agree, because obviously the entry level physique, it will be the most dominant one. He also felt that eventually the fit model look will obviously grow into the bikini look, maybe a few years ago, rather ways now. But the bikini look is keep getting pushed. It won't be long till that's being pushed towards closer to what figure was a few years ago. That's why how he feels the evolution of it. Now, on the other side as well, when I'm looking at comments, I'm looking at, be respectful here, old timers of what they're saying, because all we're looking at is the amateur scene until we see the pro level scenes, we can distinguish the difference between pros and amateurs.
yes,
People are still looking at like why is still pro cards being awarded for fit model? Well, obviously it's to grow the pro scene ready for 2026, especially if you're gonna have it in the Olympia. But at the moment, there is a clear divide with some people but seeing that it's still very underwhelming, which I get because we
yeah,
are looking at entry level physique, and if you're looking at the wow factor of like a Laura Lee or a Miss Truscott on figure or the high levels, you're always going to be like they're the wow factors, and we're looking at here, and it's people. I think some people are still getting the grips with entry level physiques become an IFBB Pro because we have such a high standard that IFBB Pro is the pinnacle of
mm,
bodybuilding of the sport. And then I think people still get find it hard to accept some entry
Hmm.
level physiques. I say entry level because that's terminology that's being used for fit model that pro status being awarded. Now, until we see it, an actual pro lineup next year, until we see some of the IFBB pro bikini competitors come out of the woodwork to say, I am moving to fit model, and we start seeing this wow factor, like, okay, now we know what they're looking for. I keep
Yeah.
saying, if Janet moved over to
I
fit model
know.
and set a standard, then all of a sudden it adds, you can take it more seriously. And that's what we need. We need to see that pro
Yeah,
lineup in 2026, not just those who've been awarded pro status, but who are the
yeah,
current hundreds of IFBB Pro Bikini competitors, present and retired, who's going to come back and say, you know what, I want to create a legacy, I want to create history and become the first ever fit model Olympic champion. You're going to wait another 12 months and ask that question, and then we'll see it. But I think we all agree that fit model, whether people like it or not, is going to be the biggest division in IFBB, and whether we agree or not, men's will follow next
yes,
year. 1,000%. I mean, I know I did an interview with Steve Weinberg a while back, and he kind of said the same thing that he imagines the men's will follow suit because we've seen development of 2013 Mark Anstey, first men's physique Olympia champion, to Ryan Terry, Brandon, Aaron Banks. It's not even the same
yeah,
division.
yeah. I think
So
there's a few really, really good talking points here. I'm just gonna like reel them off. And let's get people in the comments talking about whether they agree or not. I think so. The first thing is, yeah, I agree. Men's physique. Let's predict after the Olympia or at the Olympia there will be an announcement. I just feel like that's coming. I feel like we're waiting for this big get together. Everybody's there, and Tyler's gonna just drop it. That's my prediction. And I also think, in relation to like kind of the differentiation between amateur fit model and pro fit model, I think that's going to be so interesting to see because
Yeah.
when you look at other categories, there is a clear distinction between someone who is a first timer or a novice athlete, and then somebody who is on the cusp of winning a pro card,
Yeah.
and then somebody who is an Olympia champion or a seasoned pro. And that's going to be really interesting for us to see in Fit Model because, yes, it's classed as the entry level division. However, a pro fit model should not look like a novice fit model. There has to be a kind of way to separate them because obviously the pros are the standard and that's what people look at as the inspiration and the standard for the category. So again, going back full circle with like the bikini pros that are going to potentially enter this category, I think that will also solidify the not like prestige, but I think more like the seriousness of the class. Because I think, if somebody does step in from bikini, or several women do step in from pro bikini that have already like done the hard yard, so to speak, of, they've got many years worth of training behind them for this division. I really hope that then people will look at Fit Model and think, actually, do you know what? Like, yeah, this is the standard, and this still takes a lot of hard work. It takes many years of dedication still. It's just slightly different structure. And, also from like a PED standpoint, because that's, I guess, the elephant in the room here. Like, we know the demands of bikini have gotten more muscular, and especially for a female athlete to achieve that, like it does require pushing in other avenues, and everybody's got their own kind of personal choices on that. And yeah, also genetics is obviously going to play a role too. I also just wanted to say, like, I don't know if you guys would agree. I feel like me and Carrie have spoke about this before, but I do feel like since Fit Model was introduced at the start of this year, I feel like bikini has kind of solidified its density even more this season. Like when I'm watching the pro shows unfold, like for example, Tampa Pro, the first call out and the girls turned to the back, I was like, wow, the crispy tie-ins and the density, I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, yeah, there's the clear differentiation now. It's happening right in front of our eyes. This is bikini, and fit model is coming next year, and there's going to be a big difference there at the pro level.
Completely agree with you. Like completely, to be honest.
Yeah, let me
When you look at the
just
comparison pictures, it's mad, yeah.
well, as we should talk about Tampa, let me just bring up Marie's video, but she just mentioned about the Tampa Pro Show.
Yeah.
What? Oh gosh, lots of train of thought there. What one thing I really want to see on the fit model side, I'm still yet to see one is someone who's won a pro card in the fit model division to be who is the spokesperson of for the model side? Who is the one who's going to try and drive forward? Because right now I just don't see who are the personalities because there is an opportunity for someone to step up. Angie was the first one. We know there was many afterwards, but nobody has really kind of stepped up to, pioneer by division. People are still talking negative about it. There are still larger percentages of bodybuilding talking negative than positive because it's still new, it's still fresh. But I do think that right now, and this is a challenge for anyone who has got pro status in FitMol, who is who is the one educating those people who's pioneering the division, knowing that you've got opportunity to be the first person of that division to be a spokesperson of Fit Model right now. I'm just not seeing it.
You know what though? The thing is, like, like some of these people are saying, like, oh, these people like don't train and all that kind of stuff. That's like saying, like, so how do I put this? Like, for example, I'm gonna say like men's open bodybuilding, okay? I know this is like might sound weird, but hopefully you understand where I'm going. So you've got people that train like just as hard in men's physique, but they cannot genetically get to that point. They just can't. So like this is another one of those things, isn't it? That's like where this goes. Like I can't get to like figure level, for example, or women's bodybuilding. Like, and it's just yeah, it's one of them.
Well,
And
it's just like how when High Rock started. When High Rock started, the CrossFitters looked down on it because it was like, well, wait there, you're not doing the stuff that we do. And look at the volume of how High Rocks has the volume of people that do that now. It's so high, but it's so mainstream. And that's the exact same factor I'm looking at the fit model division because it's so mainstream. You don't need to do at such high level the lengths of some of the more but divisions that require more from your physique, which is why I'm just seeing the same thing from that like that.
And but also like the thing is, there's people that saying like it looks like these people don't train. That
Yeah.
it's not the case. Like these people are training. You can see delt caps, you can see full glutes. Like you don't have that if you literally don't train. And I heard, I think it was Landa Murray say something like that on a podcast the other day. Um, like it's just I don't know. I'm
It's
for
levels of training, it's defining training because people think, oh, someone might only go to the gym, the standard average person 4 times a week. And they're probably thinking that's not training because this is training. This is the level that we go at to achieve this physique. And they always look down at anyone that doesn't achieve that level of intensity or that level of the requirement to build a physique is not training. It's so
Thing is, well, though, like this is still the NPC and the IFBB, and it's a bodybuilding competition. So, like, yeah, there is an element of like pageantry, if you want to call it that. But you could argue that in any class as well. Like, if you look at women's bodybuilding, the most muscular division, like, the girls still look polished from head to toe. Like, their hair, their makeup, their tan, their bikini, everything. Yeah, they're not in heels, their posing is different, and they're actually flexing on stage. But there's just differences between the categories. And, like, again, like, for us women, I don't know, like it's not always the men that are commenting this, but a lot of them are old school male bodybuilders that do have this opinion. So like I am kind of making a
who's
sweeping
been
statement, but
who's
I
been
just feel, huh?
who's been the standout fit model pro so far this year?
For
Who's
me,
yeah.
for me, I would say probably Jane Jones. She's got my favorite like physique that I've seen.
What about you,
Yeah.
Kerry? Agree with that? I agree with
I
that as well.
completely agree with that, to be
Yeah,
honest. I really do. Yeah.
I
that's
was
it.
gonna say though, like it's hard to look like that as a woman because you're fighting your biology. Like our bodies don't want to put on muscle and be lean. So
And
it's
then and then how many physiques have you seen be awarded pro status in fit model that fits that kind of, the level you put at is Jane Jones. So how many
yeah,
others have been around that area? Probably only a handful, if that.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think five max
Yeah.
personally, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm sure a lot of the girls as well, though, are not blind to the fact that they know they will need like more time to grow into the division as well. Like it's
Yeah.
part of turning pro. Like
Yeah,
Yeah. For
a lot of them
any
spoke out about it
right.
as well. I mean, I know obviously I think you mentioned Amelia who won pro status.
yeah,
She spoke out, be realistic, be self-aware. I need to take time out because I know
yeah.
I'm going to be on the lower end of the football division. If I want to do the pro shows, I need to put the work in the gym.
But
Um,
that's exciting though because it gives people like again like that element of progression. It's not like you just do fit model win and that's it. Like there is actually going to be an art to it.
But
So
yeah, it's the same as any of us that have turned pro.
yeah,
Well, most of the time, unless you've obviously got a unique person that just turns pro
yeah.
to, take up space on the Olympia stage. But yeah,
Well, let's move away from football and let's talk about bikini because, like Kerry said, we are just over 9 weeks out
yeah,
from the Olympia. The
Yeah.
bikini lineup at the moment, I believe last time I checked, has about 63 girls in the lineup, which is absolutely mental. But obviously, we imagine it's going to get towards north of 75 by the time Olympia turns around. There's plenty of shows. I mean, geez, this weekend, I believe we have three or four bikini lineups, maybe. No, three bikini lineups
it's
for the
literally
qualifiers.
crazy. Like to get seen on that Olympia stage, yeah, you've got to be
Did you
brilliant.
did you see that video? I posted a reel. It was from the Ryan Terry interview with Olympia TV, and Ryan asked Terrick how there could be 75 guys on the men's physique lineup at Olympia. How do you judge that lineup to bring it down to the final 16 when you got 8 people to go? And Terrick explained that what I do is very simple. The first 8 come on, and then I've got the list of the names. I look up and I
Mhm.
go A, B, D, A, B minus, on to the next one. Next one's come on, A, B, blah, blah, blah. And then by the end of it, he grabs all the A's, makes it with them, passes them over to Steve and Sandy, and that's practically what most people do as well. And they look at
Really?
who's got the A's and they know straight away how
I want
to.
to
So that's my next thing as well. So for Kerry, like I'm trying. So does does it can it sometimes be work against you? You may have an A physique, but if you walk in a first comparison lineup, manager poses, and you've got Laura Lee and some of the other established pros who made that top 10, and all of a sudden it's I kept looking at it, I kept thinking about it psychologically. Would the judges be like, oh, I've only done 2 or 3 A's, so I can't give too many A's, but I give it so many A's of the last one. I was just trying to get my head around about how they do that, and even what is a level? What is an A? What is an A?
for sure. I just hope to be one.
There you go.
Who will you
Exactly.
be? Do you know who you'll be standing next to because of the like not numerical,
No.
alphabetical orders?
Oh,
No,
that's the
I've
question.
not
Let's
even
have a
thought of
look.
that. That's funny that I've not even thought of that.
Because do you know I was going to actually bring this up as a talking point as well? Because I was listening to Sean Hector Lewis and Jay talking about like, Jay was talking about like how stressful the Olympia is being backstage, where like you almost have to like time your pump up because there's that many athletes backstage and like where you are in the lineup and when you
Like that being at shows, yeah. I actually like find it like when I'm with my clients and stuff, they'll be saying like, "Oh, do I pump up yet?" Like everyone else is starting to pump up. I'm someone that's really never concerned about that. I literally pump up when I'm in the lineup waiting to go out because if you pump up too soon, you're literally just going to lose your pumps. I never understand. That's one thing that I know won't stress me at all. Like I'm literally chill with that. That will not stress me because I know some people spend ages pumping up and I just don't. I do it when I'm in the lineup, like ready to go on stage pretty much.
So
Yeah.
Kerry Sexton, I mean, guess we would imagine potentially if we go by alphabetical order, it's alphabetical order, right?
That's not in alphabetical order. I'm
Yeah,
just
Well,
that's
I
not.
know, no, but but in Olympia, is it alphabetical order, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
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 So we're probably
And
looking at
then
what? Lisa
it-
Reeve, Alison
it'll
Testu?
be alphabetical, and then Laura Lee will be the last one
Yeah.
out. Obviously, she's
So
the
around Kerry, I guess the names we could look at around here is Lisa Reeve, R, um, Alison Testu,
Yep.
Alice Rocha.
Yep.
I'm looking at Sharon Ramos.
Yeah.
Who else? Who got around S? Then we got Jill Merritt Smith from
yeah,
Thailand.
Thailand.
My dyslexia is just looking at this like, yep.
Eugenia Shatova from Russia. But
Alice
really,
Rocha. Did you say Alice Rocha?
yeah. So I guess the main one that jumped out was Alice Rocha,
Yeah.
Alison, and Lisa Reef were the ones that jumped out the
You
most.
could probably say near to P as well, I don't know.
Reina Perez, if we're going to
Yeah,
include like, the P's and
Yeah.
R's.
yeah. And probably mentioned Sharon Ramos as
Jeevan
well.
Park,
Yeah.
Jeevan Park as well,
Rena Perez, yeah.
from South Korea.
Yeah.
Sharon Ramos, yeah.
Wonder if I just copy all this, quickly pop in a ChatGPT and tell them to split it into this my group.
Yeah.
Let me know who's in Kara's group, and is she in the center in that group as well?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Um, oh, in fact, let me just quickly jump on this one as well. Um, Before I go on to it, because obviously this was a talking
Oh
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is a good move, I,
Announced that she won't be doing this year's Olympia.
I support this. But I
no,
also think from a physique standpoint, it will be a good move for her. Because obviously she's going to continue training and all of that stuff. And I think that her um back shot is will bump her up placings next time she does step on the Olympia stage anyway.
Eh, I
So,
personally think we don't see her back on stage.
pardon?
I
think
personally don't
so.
see her coming back on stage after this.
I do. I really do.
I I,
Really?
I watched the video
Okay.
translated English and how she was talking about certain things, like for example, getting a period back, having competed for 10 years, on the business perspective, um, being natural for 10 months. It already sounded like that she was ready for this next chapter, especially on a business perspective. The as the division continues to develop, sometimes it can leave you behind, especially if obviously she did drop down the placings from last year. That's where I kind of just watched it, and just from tone of voice and what she was talking about, I just don't see her coming back. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, oh, that's terrible. But I think that might be last year was probably the last time, in my eyes, that she stepped on stage as the IFBB Pro.
Yeah,
I don't think so. That gives me goosebumps. That makes me sad.
it's really hard though, but I like we've spoke about this before, like in terms of people retiring and stuff, and like it's one of those, isn't it? Like again, the category has evolved so much since Issa won the Olympia, and not that she's not capable, like she's obviously always been in the top spots and winning pro shows.
2019, she won Wanted. That's a long time ago now.
It feels like just yesterday, but that
Yeah,
was
that's
before the
craziness.
pandemic.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think she'll be back.
I feel like it's
I
hard
just
as
think
well
she needs a
because
break.
if you feel like where do you go from here sort of vibes, like that could be how she's feeling. I don't know. Like obviously she's mentioned various different things, but yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't like. I just don't see her being a future contender for Olympia title. I think
Mm,
the division is growing. We're seeing more people coming through, which obviously like for this year, we know expect competition from Vanya and Amy. Those guys are progressing. The next lot behind them are also progressing. And look, that's not a bad thing because one thing you can't take away from her is she's a Miss Olympia winner. But eventually, sometimes, and I think we've seen it with many competitors, eventually the division does outgrow you from what you brought. And we have seen it with other competitors. I mean, look, Maureen took third in Pittsburgh and she was 2022 winner. That's 3 years after Issa won. We see it with Brandon and Jeremy Boudia coming from Men's Physique. Um, it's just natural across all divisions. So,
I think
I
with
mean,
that,
Angelica, once again, she retired back at
Was
Arnold's.
just about to mention Angelica because that's something that she said, and she's like, look, every athlete's time comes to an end, and when you do make it to the top, enjoy it because it doesn't last. Like, you will get your time, and then things will move on from there. And I think
Unless you're a freak of nature that is actually cold water, then you just keep going and compete with
that
all
is
the
true.
generations.
my my opinion would be if Issa was to take time out and improve her glutes from the back, she's still untouchable from the front. So I think if she was to bring up her glutes from the back, then like I would I would see her like back up the top. I would.
But but obviously, when we going off the video, the time away that she's going to take away from the stage doesn't look like it's going to be spent on making improvements ready to come back next year. From what she's saying, is very much on a business perspective. So she might be doing
Or she's still on a train, surely.
I mean, what training at the level that's training for making the necessary improvements to come back in. I mean, I would have thought if she was going to come back. I thought that she would have said it on that. What she said, I've got a lifetime Olympic invite. That was in a way by saying maybe I know I've got the invite there, so if I do come back, then it's always there. It wasn't. I'm going to take this year off, focus on business. Next year, I plan to come back. Now it's very left open-ended, but it does build that interest, intrigue on whether we do see her back or not. It's just like I mean Jennifer Dory. I mean, did she confirm? Is she retired? Nothing's confirmed there, right?
Same
I mean,
with Janet though.
yeah. I mean, Jennifer. There was rumors that she was going to be competing this year. I thought originally we're going to have five Olympia bikini champions, and now we've only got three. Yeah, three.
Mm.
Um, But yeah, look, before we wrap up, I wanted to have a look at some of the girls who are pushing for that top five placing this year at the Olympia. Because I did a post the other day. I put up 10 bikini girls, and I said, "Oh, who do you think, who do you think could break into that top five this year?" And a lot of people shared other names on there. Did you see that? Did you see that post?
I
Mm.
think
I think I
Let,
did.
I
let,
think I did, but only when you just posted it, so I haven't seen the names that
yeah,
people have.
let me bring it up, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts. Who you think would be on my list, but you have to put your mortgage on it. So we can see, obviously, we got Maria, we got
Oh
Amy,
yeah.
Laura Lee, Maureen, Evie, Ariana, Ashlyn, Vanya, Jazzy, and Ashley Cole-Wasser. They were very much this was being based off last year's Olympia results and also the results so far from this year. The other person I had potentially pushing maybe Ariana out was Emmy Pearson, who has got a couple of wins so far this year, but um,
What about Raina?
Ari did have a solid placing at the Olympia last year. Um, would you put your money that these 10 could be the favorites to be in that top 10 Olympia bikini?
Mm.
And if not, who drops out and who would you put in?
I could tell you my top five prediction if you want it, or is it too soon?
Go on. I've got my top five prediction.
Go on then, let's hear it.
Oh, you go first. You mentioned yours.
No, come on, you go first.
Okay. In first, I've got Laura Lee.
Okay.
In second, I like to get a bit out there. I've got Amy. In third, I've got Ashley.
Hmm.
In fourth, I've got Vanya. And in fifth, I've got Ashlyn.
Who did you say fourth?
Yeah,
Sorry.
off just went silent. That
Fourth,
was
Vanya.
okay. You must have glitched.
Yeah. So Laura Lee first, Amy second, Ashley third, Vanya fourth, and Ashlyn fifth. Which means the people that's dropped out of that top five last year, Jazzy drops out. Uh, anyway, who else drops out? Who was in top five last year?
Uh,
First, Laura Lee, Ashley, Jazz,
Amy.
Amy. Who was fifth?
Um,
Lost my head.
Oh my God. I can't think.
that's awful.
Fifth.
Uh,
Fifth.
You're not Vanya.
Was it Vanya? It might have
I
been.
think it was. I think it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Okay. Vanya. Yeah, that's my top five. What's yours, Amani?
Based on the shifts that we're seeing in bikini right now, I'm gonna say Laura Lee, I think will probably defend that title. I actually have Vanya in second. I really think Vanya is gonna come out all guns blazing because the posing and everything. And then third,
You say you got your top five. What are you thinking? Just
well, I didn't know we were doing them in order. I'm gonna say either Ashley or Amy. And then fifth, probably Ashlyn.
but wait there. If I look back at last week's episode, I'm sure you said Maureen will be there in the top five.
Yeah, I know, but now seeing everyone, I don't know, man.
When you look at everyone here, I mean, you
It's
think about some of the goals that we've not added onto it. It shows like, I mean, the question is, we haven't seen Laura Lee.
actually,
Obviously,
do you know what? I'm changing from Ashlyn to Maria. Sorry.
Maria, okay. Um, no, normally Laura Lee does the Arnold, so we get an idea about where she's at. This is going to
Yeah.
complete alien, where she's going there, and we haven't got a clue. But of course, she's had that full year. She's to focus on the Olympia and defend the title. And then you look. Would you say are there more challenges to get in that top three than like fourth and six? I mean, I feel there are more there's fewer challenges. I only personally see Laura Lee and Amy and Ashley challenging for the Olympia title, and obviously mine you've got your Vanya, but then I see fourth to potentially eighth being wide open to not just some of these competitors, but there's some other ones as well that I've not added on the list.
Yeah, I agree with
Who,
that.
who,
Like,
who are the ones missing from here that could also be a threat?
I
Who are the
think
top 10?
Ali Vathauer, 1000%. I think she's a massive dark horse. And I even had her in my predictions for first call out last year, and I was right. So there you go, peeps. Yeah, I think, yeah, she definitely, like, she looks even better than she did last year now, in my opinion. I'm just looking again at the lineup. I also think,
Just bring up Emmy Pearson because I know she's obviously had double pro wins.
yeah, I mean, can we put Carrie in there?
We could put Kerry. Wait, Kerry. Wait. Looking at my lineup of 10. What comes to mind when you're thinking about okay, going to Olympia? You want to make a statement. You believe that you can get a top spot. But then seeing those girls and some of the other ones we're talking about, what goes through your head?
I think my glutes are on par, if I'm honest.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I think my back shot is coming on very, very well right now. I can't really comment on my front shot, which is frustrating. But I guess I kind of can. I posted something the other day to my story. Unfortunately, I've not posted a front shot on here, to be honest with you. It was on my story. Um,
How much
but
better from the
my
ring?
front shot is very different
Oh yeah.
now because I have lost my locked out erectors, which essentially brings my waist in. Um, I do feel like I've improved a lot. I mean, you can ask Marnie. She's seen the front shots, the back shots, like
When
whatever.
you were scrolling there, I just crease every time I see the thumbnail for you falling over on that check-in video, by the way. It is hilarious.
That was in Japan. That was just
You
awful.
scrolled past it, Suki, did you see on the left?
Oh, this
Click
one.
it. Click it.
Oh, honestly, brilliant. Yeah, I agree. I think the thing is though, like the digestive issues and stuff, like I said, I've said this before, like that's such an acute reaction. Do you know what? There'll be people listening to this as well that can probably relate. Like, oh my God, I've had this before in prep, and it's the hardest thing ever to like
It's gone on
not
for like
stress
6 weeks.
about.
It's mental.
Yeah. The problem is like you feel stressed even though like you might not like your body feels stressed even if you don't feel stressed mentally, you're showing the signs physically.
Go on Meg's page. There might be a little something on there. I don't know.
That then makes you stress more because you're taking your check-in photos and you're like, oh my God, my stomach, and everything just feels like it's knotted and it's uncomfortable. And the only way it goes down is when you literally just breathe and just let it settle. And it will because it is an acute thing. Like digestive issues come and go. It's not body fat. It's not that your waist isn't like sort of the core control's not there. Like we all know that you've worked on that. So
See it even though, look, in this shot here, when I come round to the front, you can see even in this shot that I'm just like bloated.
mm,
It's crazy. But again, like my waist was measuring smaller than last year already, at like I think 6 weeks out. And then yeah, we've just kind of like had issues there. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think my glutes are good enough to hang up there. Um, and I'm intrigued to see what my front shot's gonna look like. I don't want to like rule myself out. Like you never know what could happen. We've improved a lot. So who
who
knows?
else is, I mean, obviously Texas Pro is this weekend, which it's given me all the memories from last year. But we've got some people who are coming up to compete, like Jordan Lee, for example. She isn't
Yeah.
qualified for this
Yeah,
year
she's not
yet.
qualified
So
yet.
yeah, we're going to be seeing more people jump into this list as
Yeah.
well, that are, considered like top athletes too. So
Sure. There's just,
So
you know what? It's so, all of this is just so open.
I really want to see, and obviously I want Europe to be more seen in the bikini at the bikini lineup in Olympia. Anna Sedlak from Italy. She's come
yes,
close on numerous occasions. It'd be great to see if she can secure a ticket, especially as a partner is at Olympia, is already qualified
Yeah.
in class of physique. So it'd be good to see if Anna could make it. But looking at this lineup, obviously Kate Cow for New Zealand already qualified.
yeah, Taylor's already qualified.
Yeah.
Brittany Gillespie not yet, and Jodie Younger, she qualified last year. She won Indy Pro, I think. So I don't know if she's qualified this year. I don't think she is yet.
But
Uh,
that you would assume Jordan Lee is probably the favorite for this one, given
yeah,
she's the highest Olympian placed
Yeah.
in this lineup. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. You think it back to Texas, Marnie?
oh, honestly, it's just the best show. Like, if anybody's watching that like has thought about doing that show, I urge you to do it. Like, Kerry, you have to do it at some point as well. The shows in Texas are just another level. Yeah, it was such a good time.
Is the recent one? Can't see. Remove this. Oh, there you go. 1 hour ago.
Yeah.
Few other shows as well. Tokyo Pro Show. I'm not really.
Mm.
Marnie, you're probably better. Marnie, Kerry, you guys are probably better for me for this lineup. Who sticks out here in Tokyo?
There's a couple names that I recognize. Oh, Alessia's in it. Alessia
Oh
Fachin.
yeah, of
We've also
course.
got Olivia Dobrolowska. I don't know if I pronounced her name wrong. Sorry about that. But I actually follow her on
Yeah.
Instagram. She's been
Yeah.
doing a string of shows as well from Poland. And Sarah Choi, I recognize her name
Okay.
too. What about you, Carrie? Do you recognize
Heather,
anyone else?
Heather Cam, is she Jamie DeRigo's client? Um,
Ah, yes, I think you might be right. Yeah, yeah.
Um, we'll finish off Masters Olympia one moment. Let me just go over to.
I can hear my therapist is waiting for me.
Oh, okay, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, how do I pronounce this? Tahoe.
Tahoe, Tahoe,
Tahoe.
Tahoe.
Tahoe,
Yeah.
Tahoe, Tahoe.
What's also exciting, and away for the bikini division, Missy Truscott makes a figure debut
Yeah.
this show,
I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is going to be
Love that.
insane.
That's going to be cool.
Lisa Reef is back. I mean, she's
Yeah,
qualified.
that's
She's running another
exciting.
show.
I'm intrigued to see what changes have been made since she's been working with Team Atlas. I think that was a
Yeah.
really good move. So yeah, intrigued to see her.
But I guess the favorite Fatu Torre. I know she's come close for the last couple of shows.
Oh, okay.
God, what was the last one? I can't remember. Was it LA? Savannah's place recently. A few other shows as
Yeah.
well. Okay, and obviously this natural show. Not too no on the natural side, but quickly on the Masters Olympia as well. Who are the names jumps out on this one over in Tokyo?
Let's have a look.
Oh shit, there's another.
Mm.
There's two slides.
Okay.
Wait, is the one here and
Oh, yay, Jessica
Jessica
Wilson.
Wilson, of course. Yeah.
Woo, gorgeous. Yeah, gosh, that's how many names? A lot.
Well, I can see Heather Cam in there as well.
Yeah.
So fair few. I I don't know how I feel about people talk about so many bikini Olympia tickets available. You got four bikini shows on one weekend. That's another four winners potentially, if none of them are Olympia qualified.
Yeah.
That takes us 67, and then we go into 8 more weeks to go. And I know technically probably 6 weeks ago because the last 2 weeks there were no Olympia qualifiers.
I was
Mm,
going to say, actually, it is literally so there is the 7th of September, which is my show, so 4.5 weeks, and then the weekend after
Germany.
when Germany is, which is five and a
Yeah.
half weeks. So that's how long we've got left
Okay.
now. Yeah.
I'm sure I saw Pro Bikini News Network say there was 15 more shows
Oh, there you go.
to qualify.
Right. I've got to, my therapist
Kerry,
is
you got to shoot.
so
Yes.
sorry, guys.
Okay,
Um,
look, we're going to
it,
wrap up here. We've got a special guest next week. Definitely want to tune in. Otherwise, Kerry's got to shoot. I've got to shoot. Mike's probably got to shoot somewhere as well. So, yeah,
Sweet.
we'll see you
amazing.
guys next week.